Hey, did you catch Devyani International's Q3 FY25 results? Seems like they've been pretty busy expanding.
Oh, yeah, I saw the press release. Devyani International or DIL is one of the largest QSR operators in India, right? They're like the big franchisee for Yum brands, so KFC and Pizza Hut. And they also have Costa Coffee.
Exactly. It looks like they added a bunch of new stores hitting over 2,000 in Q3, which is ahead of their original target. I mean, that's a lot of fried chicken and pizza.
Totally. The report says they opened 111 net new stores in Q3 alone. That's a pretty aggressive expansion, right? It's like they're planting flags all over the place.
Right. And the chairman, Ravi Jaipuria, seems pretty happy about it. He mentioned it enhances their market presence and gives customers more access to their brands. But how is that expansion affecting their financials?
Well, their consolidated revenue for the quarter was about rupees 12.9 billion, which is a 53.5% jump year on year. They also mentioned some better margin performance due to better SSSG and cost optimization. That's solid growth, And
So the top line is looking good, but what about the bottom line? Are they actually making more money or just selling more?
their reported EBITDA was rupees 2.2 billion, with margins at 16.9%, a slight improvement from the previous quarter. They also managed to stay PBT positive for the quarter and YTD. Things are looking good there.
Nice. And do they break down the performance by brand? I'm curious how each of them is doing actually.
Yeah, KFC India's revenue was around rupees 5.7 billion. Pizza Hut India was about rupees 19 billion. And Costa Coffee hit rupees 517 million. KFC seems to be leading the charge.
Okay, KFC is definitely the star player. I wonder though, with all this expansion, are they spreading themselves too thin? How's their same-store sales growth looking?
They mention positive SSSG momentum across core brands and geographies, which suggest they're not just relying on new stores. Existing stores are also performing well.
That's a relief. So it seems like they're not just growing for the sake of growing, they're actually improving efficiency too.
Right? And they're even extending their Tealive master franchise agreement for Thailand, showing they're not just focused on India, they're thinking internationally too.
International expansion, huh? It's like they're building a QSR empire. But are there any risks? What does the report say about potential challenges?
Well, the safe harbor statement mentions risks like changes in the industry structure, political and economic environment, tax laws, and even labor relations. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And disclaimer, we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
True, those safe harbor statements are always a reality check. It's good they're upfront about the potential bumps in the road, right?
Right. Plus, they appointed Deepak Kumar as the new head of finance. Seems like they're beefing up the financial team.
Smart move, especially with all this growth. So, to sum it up, Devyani International is expanding rapidly, showing solid revenue growth and margin improvement. They are also managing risks appropriately.
Exactly. They've met their store expansion guidance and their brands are performing well. It seems they're on a pretty good track.
What about the financial ratios? I mean, are they swimming in debt or keeping things balanced?
Marchike, so looking at the presentation, their EBITDA margins have seen slight improvements. But if you dig into the unaudited consolidated results, their finance costs are around rupees 670 million for the quarter. So debt management will be key.
Got it. So while they're growing, keeping an eye on those finance costs is important. And do they mention anything about dividends or shareholder returns? I mean, that's what a lot of investors care about, right?
Actually, no mention of dividends in this report. It's all about expansion and operational efficiency.
That makes sense given their growth phase. Maybe they'll consider dividends later once they've solidified their market position, right? Hey, if you're enjoying our takes on earnings reports, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, focusing on growth now could pay off in the long run with higher returns later. It's like planting a tree. You need to give it time to grow before you can enjoy the fruit.
Speaking of growth, the presentation also breaks down store counts by region in India. It looks like they're pretty spread out, but with a good chunk in north and south. Well, that's great, right? So,
True, it looks like they're focusing on both metro and non-metro cities, which is a smart move to capture different markets, I guess.
okay, so what's your final take? Are you bullish on Devyani International?
I'd say cautiously optimistic. Their growth is impressive, but they need to manage their debt and keep an eye on those external risks. If they can do that, they could be a solid player in the QSR space.
Yeah, I agree. It's like they're building a fast food empire, but they need to make sure the foundation is strong, right?
Precisely. And with the Q3 FY25 results looking good, it will be interesting to see how they perform in the coming quarters.
Absolutely. It's definitely a company to watch. Thanks for breaking down all those numbers with me.
No problem. Always happy to dive into the financials and see what's cooking.